up, guys? Welcome to my fancy ass kitchen. So here's kind of a sad story. I couldn't really sleep last night because I had this amazing idea to make a high carb, low fat vegan chicken substitute. So like a Hclf sandwich or like vegan chicken nuggets for your kids, but healthy, like something that you would feel good eating every single day and feeding to your kids, and it's not, you know, tons of soy and fats and deep fried stuff. Because this is High Carb Hannah's Kitchen and we don't make shit that is loaded with fat and preservatives and soy and all that other stuff, right? We make high carb vegan foods. We want to feel good. We don't want to just like feel like crap, you know? We want to feel good. We want to feel good. So today we are going to be making like a vegan Chick-fil-A or a vegan McNugget or whatever you want to make out of this. I've never made this before. Normally when I do recipe videos, you know, they're things that I've tried before and I've never tried this before. I just kind of had an idea of a few things that would work. So this is like HCH's test kitchen, but I'm pretty confident that we're gonna be able to make this work. So the first thing that we're gonna need for our vegan chicken is obviously like a vegan meat, right? We need some type of chicken. So we're gonna be using cauliflower today. And I got this idea from my General Tso's chicken that I made a long time ago. And I was like, maybe if I just kind of mush it up and make it into a patty, it would work, right? So what I'm gonna do is just chop this up into florets, throw it in the oven on 400 degrees for about 30 minutes until they're nice and roasted. And this is gonna be our chicken. Gotta roll up the sleeves for this one. So we just wanna take this part out of, you know, the center. Kind of just take the cauliflower off of here. A lot of times when people roast stuff, they'll like drizzle it in oil. We don't need that shit. We're not gonna do that today. So we're just gonna put this on a pan the way that it is, in all of its cauliflower glory, and we're gonna roast it. So we're gonna roast that for like 30 minutes. This stuff right here is gonna give it like a nice earthy, nutty flavor. It's also going to give us some healthy fats, and I don't know what else this stuff's good for. It's just good stuff, okay? So we are going to use about 3/4 of a cup of dry quinoa. And then we're gonna put in a cup of water. So normally you would use way more water than that, right? But we don't want this recipe to be like too watery. So we don't use a lot of water just because it would take forever to cook these chicken patties and for our meat to dehydrate. So we're just gonna use a cup of water just to get like some volume in the quinoa, you know? So let's do that. We're just gonna put this on the stove, turn it up to high heat, and let this baby cook. So the next thing that we need in this recipe is a binding agent. So for most of these chicken things, people always use eggs because, you know, it's a good binding agent, but we don't need all that cholesterol and artery clogging BS that's in eggs. Plus, there's so many baby chicks that die every single day because people eat eggs. We don't need that shit. The perfect substitute for eggs is flax. And we're just gonna make a flax egg, which is totally cruelty-free and way better for you. So to make a flax egg, if you've never made one before, you just basically wanna take 1/3 parts flax and then 3 parts water. So you want to multiply the amount of flax by 3, and that's how much water you need. So we're going to use 1/4 of a cup of flax just because we're gonna need a lot of binding in this recipe. That is not a big enough bowl. And then we're gonna use 3 of these full of water. And then this is what is going to give us our flax egg. And you might be like, Hannah, that does not look like an egg, which I never said this was gonna look like an egg, okay? But it's gonna act like an egg. Once this like thickens, it takes about 10 minutes for the flax to absorb all the water. So this is gonna thicken, and then it's gonna become basically an egg. All right, so our cauliflower is done. So here's our roasted cauliflower. Doesn't really smell like chicken, but we're gonna make it taste like chicken. So now that we've got everything cooked, we got our quinoa cooked here. Everything is super hot, so we gotta be careful. But I'm way too impatient to wait till it all cools down, so we're gonna put all this stuff into this bowl. Can't even see it. Then we're going to add in things that are gonna make this taste like chicken. So if you've ever had chicken that's been boiled, it has no salt and no flavoring on it, it doesn't really taste like anything, right? Like, nobody wants to eat saltless, boiled, flavorless chicken. So how they make it taste good is they add seasonings. We've got garlic powder, paprika, onion powder, salt, and then we're gonna add another special ingredient, sriracha. You don't have to add sriracha, I just add it because this really is my life. So we're just gonna add all this stuff into this bowl. So it looks like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our handy little hand blender and blend this up. Alright, this is not working at all, so it's all just getting stuck in here. I really had hopes for this, but we're gonna have to do this the hard way. So we don't want this to be like super blended because then it'll just be mush. We're just gonna, lightly process this until it's more of a chicken breaded texture, I guess. The struggle is real. Okay, I was pulling it the wrong way. So cauliflower is really amazing because if you look at this, it actually looks like chicken. Actually, it really does look like shredded chicken. It tastes like chicken too. So if you could see the texture of it, this is like what we're going for, right? There's still little bits in here. It's not like just a blended mess, but it's still kind of wet. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add breadcrumbs in here to make it more dry and more moldable, because we want to be able to mold it into patties or McNuggets or whatever we're trying to replace, right? I should really close these. So I just got these breadcrumbs from 365 brand. So see how we can like mold this into whatever we want. So I gotta get way down here. So what we're gonna do now is just mold these into patties, and then we will cook them. So I don't actually know how to like cook these. I'm gonna do a few in the oven and a few on the stove top and just see how they go. So I have a non-stick pan and we'll try some on the stove top, and then I'll put the oven on, your guess is as good as mine, guys, 450 maybe, and put them on the top rack and just see if I can get them to brown a little bit, but let's see how this goes. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but hear that sizzle? Oh yeah, that's what we want. Alright guys, so here you have the high carb, low fat, vegan chicken sandwich. They're very like intact, like nothing is gonna, you know, they're not just gonna fall apart. But yeah, let's try this baby out. I just put some sriracha on here, cause again, sriracha is life. It sure as hell tastes like chicken. Like, this is good, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like, look at how intact that burger is. It's just like all melty and that hits the spot. Like, what more do you guys want? Really? How does life get any better than this? Like, so if you guys like this video format, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. I was thinking maybe it'd be fun to do these like once a week, and then on like this video you guys can comment what I should try and make next week. So it could be like HCH's like experimental kitchen, or like the high carb kitchen, or you guys can come up with a name for it. I don't know. But I think it'd be fun if you guys gave me suggestions of what you want to see next week, and then whoever's suggestion gets the most thumbs up, that's what I'll make. So you guys can choose whatever I make, and it's like the viewer's choice, and then I'll have to figure out how to make again high carb, low fat Snickers bar or something like that. Like, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it, right? So I feel like that would be fun to do on my channel. Plus I love experimenting in the kitchen, and it's just like a laid back video style, and then we can all learn things. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go eat all this vegan chicken, and I will see you guys on the next video.